Can an asset without any fundamentals be predictable? Can an asset be purely based on speculation and future prospects? Could an asset replace money as we know it? Well, if there's one asset that's paving the way for all these speculations, it will be none other than Bitcoin. With it having the best return in comparison to any other asset classes, with a whopping 230% annual return a year, it certainly can't be ignored. However, with such high return comes the cost of unheard volatility. This year alone, there was a 50% crash from its yearly high, raising the concern, where will Bitcoin go? Before we begin, we need to talk about how feasible Bitcoin replacing currency is, or rather, replacing fiat money is. Fiat money is an established currency often through governmental regulation. The reason these currencies fail in the end is that they usually aren't backed up by anything and have inflation that drives their value down. Throughout history, a lot of currencies have failed because of this. The German Papiermark, the Hungary Pengo, the Zimbabwe dollar are some of the few examples that died out due to hyperinflation. There can be an argument that the same can be said with Bitcoin, as Bitcoin isn't really backed up by anything. However, the main difference between fiat currencies and Bitcoin is that fiat currencies lose their value through increasing the quantity of that currency in an economy, or in other words, through inflation. Currencies fail because governments print more of that currency, which drives the value of each unit down. In Bitcoin's case, while it isn't backed up by anything such as gold or other precious metals, it is an asset that can't increase the total amount of units in the market. This means that Bitcoin can only lose money when people take their money out rather than through inflation. This shows feasibility to Bitcoin's overall purpose of being a currency that can't lose value through inflation. But while Bitcoin is succumbing to its goal of becoming a decentralized currency, there are a lot of problems that are posed in its long-term scalabilities. You see, currencies can be categorized by buyers, sellers, and the transactions between them. A currency works if transactions between buyers and sellers are seamless and are completed with no problems. In Bitcoin's case, one of the biggest problems in it becoming a working currency is how many transactions it can complete. Because of how the computer calculations are set up, Bitcoin can only handle 4.6 transactions per second, while banks such as Visa can handle up to 24,000. In order to get around this problem, you can increase the block size limit that can allow Bitcoin to allow a bigger amount of transactions. However, an argument against this would be that by increasing the block size, individuals wouldn't be able to run the Bitcoin network, thus having corporations run the network. If corporations were to run the currency, Bitcoin's decentralization goal is lost. However, while that seems like an already big enough issue for Bitcoin, there are many environmental and computing issues that hold Bitcoin back. It can certainly be said that Bitcoin has a tricky path ahead of it. But how do we go about valuing Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin doesn't have any fundamentals and is purely driven by technical analysis and speculation, how do you go about valuing Bitcoin? Well, the answer to that is undefined. The best way to do so might be to gauge community involvement in crypto spaces, such as social media, as it's the only way to tell if people are willing to buy more coins. In terms of technical analysis, a unique way to tell its valuation might be through its average linear trend. The trend itself would be fair value, while the price existing above it would be overvalued, and on the other hand, price existing below it would be undervalued. The linear regression trend is a good indicator to get the average trend. However, in the end, it's just all speculation. In my opinion, I believe that were you to buy Bitcoin, you're really in it for the long haul, as it's something you believe in.